So that's kind of fun. I lived in Texas for a little bit. My father's from Massachusetts. My husband said he wouldn't be opposed to living there. My family, like my dad, has talked about moving, and my husband was like, "You have a really nice house if you want to just like give it to us with the way this housing market is." So we've joked about moving to Massachusetts. I don't mind Massachusetts, but if it was my hometown, I probably wouldn't be there. Like if I grew up with my dad, I grew up in New Mexico. Sorry, let's backtrack this a little bit. I grew up in New Mexico. My parents divorced when I was 2. Dad is from Massachusetts. Mom is from New Mexico. They divorced, so we moved back to New Mexico with my grandparents, lived there for a while. And then when I was 7 till 9, I lived in Amarillo, Texas, and I went back to New Mexico. And then as soon as I graduated college, I couldn't afford to leave for college as much as I wanted to. I don't know why I struggled so hard to get scholarships. I was a fairly decent student. I was not the student that I wanted to be because of all the things that I was dealing with. But considering, when I think about everything that I went through, the fact that I had a 3.5 GPA and was a dual credit student and blah, 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 and all the things that I did, I'm really fucking proud of myself. But it was really hard to get scholarships. I didn't perform to the level that I should have. My dream was to go to Harvard. I was definitely an Elle Woods girly, and so I really want to go to Harvard. And then that dream kind of died in like 8th grade. I just, I don't know, things got really heavy and hard, and so I just like, whatever. And that's part of dealing with my small town. It's not just my family, it's the culture of that town. I just didn't connect to many people or things out there. It's a very spiritual place. It's built on Aztec ruins, so there's some cool things there, but it definitely it's a mixture of indigenous Native American culture, the Navajo reservations there, but then there's like Christian conservatism with the Mormons and the Catholics, and they're fighting, and then there's non-denominational, like it's a really weird, is the Four Corners, Farmington, New Mexico. I still have a couple friends I talked to from there, and we all escaped some way. A lot of people have tried. A lot of people end up moving back. Last time I've been back was in 2022 to be there for my grandmother's memorial. They had a memorial service because she was there most of her life, and so they had like a service for her there. But she ended her life in Oklahoma. So yeah, my family moved around a lot. I'm going to be dramatic. I lived in about 10 states by the time I was 2 years old. And that's not fully accurate. I couldn't count because I don't fully know. Probably closer to like 5. Probably half of that. But I was born in Arizona. And I know we lived in Pennsylvania. I know we lived in Florida. We kind of lived all over the place. My dad worked with the airlines. I don't know exactly what he did. I'm a pretty bad daughter in the fact that I've asked him what he does 1,000 times, and I just kind of stare at him. Like, not my realm, not my world of things. Probably how he feels when I start talking about astrology. He's a good sport. So, yeah, I moved to Michigan for a stupid man. That's a whole other thing. But everyone, when that fell apart, immediately that fell apart. I planned on moving as soon as I graduated anyway. My plan was always to get the fuck out. I just didn't know where I was going to go. So whatever I was doing with that guy, whatever that was, I was like, I'll go to Michigan. Like, we've done long distance on and off for like 3 years. Do you want to make this something real? Because like, it keeps doing whatever it's doing. Like, hello, this needs to fully end, or this needs to go somewhere, and I wanted it to go somewhere. Probably because I just really wanted to get the fuck out, and I'm a dreamy thing. Like, there was so much. That whole relationship breakdown has been a big part of my, like, heart chakra healing through this, like, occult spiritual journey, if I had to attach it. It is layered. That was one of my final bosses, I feel like, in a lot of ways. He had the same moon sign as my mom. So that says some stuff. So anyway, moved there, but everyone's like, move back home, move back home. I was like, I would rather die. My mom moved back home after the divorce. My grandmother went to California for beauty school, and she went back home after. I understand why my grandmother went back home. I'm not gonna say on here why she had a significantly traumatic incident happen to her when she was in California. It's California, and so she moved back home, and I understand that. I would say in my own way, in a different way, I experienced similar traumatic things that my grandmother experienced. I can see the ancestral thing there, like the curse or the habit, whatever, cycle. And so when it fell apart, my gut was like, you're not fucking going back. You can leave Michigan. You can't. Well, actually, I couldn't leave Michigan. I was like, I was like, stay put, stick it out. And I firmly believe it was to meet my husband and a few other things that I had to go through. I do firmly believe in like the butterfly effect and chess. So, it's crazy because all these fucking people that I was meeting, such a small world, somehow, one way or another, knew my ex-situation person. And I'm like, how do I keep meeting these random people in these random ways, and they all somehow know this fucking loser? And I was so frustrated because I'm like, I'm not a stalker, or I'm really not trying to be. Maybe subconsciously I'm manifesting this. I don't know. I'm a water Venus. I think it's in my favor for this ultimate chess match where I somehow win whatever delusional thing I think I'm winning. But I don't know. That's just a theory. It's just a fun thought experiment. I'm not really that crazy. I just don't understand what else it could fucking mean. Because why would God, the universe, the world, whatever, why would that happen? What are the chances? Fucking, apparently it's not that hard. It's highly probable in my path. So anyway, yeah, so then after Michigan, we've been in Nashville a year now. I don't know if it'll stay here for a lot of reasons. Like I said, my husband's even been toying around with moving to Massachusetts because he wants cooler weather. We dream, like, I don't know. We both have a couple, not many, but a couple Sagittarius placements. I have a lot of ninth house placements, so I wonder how much influence is there in different ways. Anyway, I don't know. We haven't found our home yet, our roots, but I do think like once you do, like, that's awesome. And hey, for some people if that's your hometown, awesome. Not me. I hate my hometown. My little brother's still there. I honestly kind of don't even want to go back to visit my family. Like, I'll meet them in Oklahoma where the other half of my family lives. Like, we can do halvesies. But if I would live in New Mexico again. I would never live in Farmington again. And if I live in New Mexico again, it's a very specific way. Very specific way in like Taos, or maybe not really Santa Fe. Santa Fe is cool though. I do like Santa Fe, but it'd probably be Taos or like the mountains near Lake Ruidoso or something like that. Don't mind my accent and how I pronounce it, any of it. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's great. I learned a lot. I needed to get away. I couldn't have been myself in that town. Like, when I went back for my grandmother's memorial and I presented myself as myself, everyone's like, well, you sure changed. I'm like, I am who I've always been. And like, just because all the masking I had to do, all the phases I had, all the trials, like, I just could not find myself there because of the environment. I just couldn't do it. So yeah, when I say I got away, I mean it. I don't think I'm better than anybody just because I got away from my hometown, but I'm also better than a lot of people from my town. If you know, you know. There are some people I hope rot there and never make it out. Like, that is divine punishment. And then there are other people I'm begging to find it within them to free themselves. So yeah, that is Farmington, New Mexico for you.